What's up, man? Trying to make sure this is working. We're trying something a little bit different today. I think there's a little bit of a delay here too. We're going to try to use OBS today to see if we can watch the video of the record and everything at the same time. So hopefully this will be a little more interactive. Yeah, there's like a 10-second delay. We'll make this work. And unfortunately, my webcam didn't come in time, so we won't be able to use that. But let's see how this goes. You guys are hearing me, right? You guys seeing my camera and everything? Perfect. So we'll jump into the Q&A too, but I do want to talk about this pure Drivetrain Solutions record that everybody started arguing about. So we'll talk about that. Just give me one more minute, let some people come in, and then we'll jump into it. What happened? Oh yeah, we'll talk about it because if you guys saw my video yesterday, they have an M4 that broke like all the quarter mile records and everything. It ran a 762. So we'll watch it together and then we'll dig into it. I'm not an expert by any means, but it's something a lot of people wanted to talk about. Let me just post this on Instagram and then we'll jump into it. All right, so let's see if we can find. I'm going to pull up the video and we'll watch it together. Hopefully this all works because I haven't used OBS before. But I'm going to trust the system. All right, let's see. So let me know if you guys are able to see. Let's see. There we go. Morning, morning. Sorry, trying to get this set up. All right, can you guys see this? I don't know what I'm doing, so you have to tell me if it's not working. Are you able to see the screen and my face? Wow, look at me. All right. So we're going to go ahead and watch the video.
You like that 4 a.m. fucking phone call?
So for those of you guys that haven't seen it, they basically broke this record, right?
Nah. 4 a.m. This guy.
Are you still able to hear the video?
He says we're about to go to the track.
I don't want it to make an echo.
About to go to the track, set the world on fire. About to drive 3 hours to the track.
So hopefully you guys can see the video and hear it. But basically, they have a G82 M4. As you can see, it's full interior. It is a compact drive, so it's all-wheel drive. And it's got a built engine, built transmission, big turbo, all that good stuff, right? So I'm trying to figure out if it's real, you know, because everybody started poking at it. In the video that I posted yesterday, I filmed a while in advance. And so I wasn't really sure if this was going to happen. You know, I don't know enough about it to be able to tell either way. But it seemed like it worked. I mean, they posted the video, they posted the time slips, they posted the draggy and everything. So it just seemed right.
The rain was coming. They hit me up yesterday and said, yo, probably going to cancel this shit.
Yes, 4 is greater than 3. I think everybody knows that by now.
I woke up at fucking 2:30 to a text from Shane saying that they had another rental.
But it's just kind of interesting because, so of course, you know, they're driving to the track, doing all this. And this is where people start questioning what really happened. Let's see. Gosh, I didn't realize how late in the video they will go to the track. All right, so what basically happens is they start here, right? They're getting ready to go race, and they've got 2 cameras. They've got one at basically at the start line and then one at the finish line. And so as they're driving, you can see they kind of stage up the car. Everything's pretty standard, right? Starting right here, they're filming the car. It launches. flips. So this is something that everybody's grilling them about, right? They want to know, why did the camera angle change? Why didn't they just post the whole run? Which I don't know. I mean, if they're just editing it or whatever, it is what it is. But that was the first thing that people were questioning. Is it real? Why did they cut it in the middle? Right? So then they get all the way to the end of the track. See the time,
180. Let's go.
see the speed and everything.
762 180.
And then I think they go and get the slip.
Yes.
So, and I didn't dig too much into this part, but people were saying like they couldn't see the date on the slip.
7.6 at 180.
Like the way that it was folded over or something.
Let's go. Let's go.
And this is getting into the weeds again because I'm not
762 at 180.
So
762. Look at the 8
are getting upset about.
Look at the 8. Fucking go. Let's go.
So they have the time slip.
We're gonna mess with them. Pure drivetrain solutions. Let's go.
And I guess they want to see it. Like the whole thing. Well, here, look. It almost does it show the date?
Motorsports. We're gonna mess with Let's them. Go. We're gonna mess with him a little bit.
He's holding up the whole time.
We're gonna say he went 8-0. 180.
And then he's
Would
got
you
his
think it
draggy. I think he shows it for a split second. So here, like you can see the draggy. On the draggy, it said 765. On the time slip, it says 762. So people are like, oh, what if he did the draggy in like a different car and then just had it up on his phone or like something. There's so many different things that people are speculating out there that I can't hear. Oh, you can't hear me? I tried to turn it down, sorry. But yeah, so people are like, oh, why is the time different? Why is the time slip not showing like the date and all this stuff? And I think the bigger thing is understanding what it would take for a full weight car to run a 762, which everybody's saying it's like 1,800 horsepower, or like 2,000 horsepower or something like that. So how can the turbo that they say they're running make that much power? Which I'm not saying we've never had anybody lie about their mods, but it's kind of like, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, draggy's going to be different. Usually draggy's going to be slower because if you stage up really, really well, you can start rolling before you actually crack the beams, right? So before it actually starts timing, the car will roll a little bit because there's like a little bit of width on your tire. So I think that part isn't too surprising. You know, if they started right at the front of the beams and then when the tire started moving, it took a little bit before it actually started counting. That's normal because draggy will start counting as soon as you start moving. But that's the big part of it too. They're trying to figure out how can a car that's full weight, weighing almost 4,000 pounds, run a 760 with a turbo that's rated for like less than 1,500 horsepower. But precision turbos tend to run more than they're rated for anyway, so I don't think that's necessarily a deciding factor either. So I don't know. And if you guys see the comments from the video yesterday, you'll see a bunch of people are not fully believing it yet. The turbo is rated for, the turbo itself is rated for 1,400 horsepower. So they have a precision 79, or what is it, 73.9. So this is what they're running. Rated for 1,450 horsepower. Oh, it's a new version of this? See, I was just going off of what I saw online. And that's the other thing. People are going back and forth about the launch because if you look at the slip, let's see, I'll mute the audio. Sorry, I didn't realize you guys weren't able to hear me. So they ran a 1.3 60 foot. That's really fast. Let's see if we can find another 1.3 60 foot video.
Our service to the highest standards.
I don't know. Did that look that much slower or faster? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, you want to see an all-wheel drive car? I mean, because that car clearly it was slower. It ran what, a 6 second? It says it ran a 6 second eighth mile with a 1.360 foot. These guys ran sub 5, so they were a full second faster to the eighth, but the same 60 foot. Unless this is like a 1.39999. Apparently, there's not a lot of 1.3s out there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I think that makes sense if they just post the full video. Nobody should have cut the video in real time, right? So they should be able to post like 2 separate videos, one from the start line, one from the finish line, and post that in full. And that would end a lot of the debate, I think. But then somebody will say, oh, the video's sped up, or I don't know. This stuff is just so nuts, man. This is why I don't want to chase records. I'm not looking to be the fastest anything anywhere. Because even if you do it, who's going to just 100% believe you? Like, you'll never have everybody that just believes you. Yeah, I agree. The launch looked kind of soft, but our cars kind of leave soft, I think, majority of the time. So if you look at Pure's page, let me see, where is their Instagram? Oh, it might not let me go through it all. No, it won't let me go through it without logging in. But if you go to, or it might not be Pure's Instagram, but if you go to Chris's Instagram, he actually shows a picture of the car lifting the front wheels. It's not from that run, but there was definitely a time that it pulled the front wheels. What was his Instagram name? Here we go. It won't let me keep looking. This is his page, some guy Christopher. And if you look at it, there's a picture of him with the car pulling the front car, with his car pulling the front wheels. It's not going to show it, but yeah, it's on there. So yeah, that's true too. You can't fake the time board when the car crosses, but what if they had a rolling start? Like anybody that's done like roll racing, you know that your trap speed is pretty close to what you expect, but it'll drop your ET pretty significantly. So that's what somebody else was saying, that they cut it because the first one they like rolled into it basically. And when you have a private track day, I mean, you get a lot more liberty to do those kinds of things. Yeah, I'm not saying it's impossible either. I think people are just more concerned with, did this car actually do it on this run when they're posting it? And they made it look pretty crazy because it looked like they drove to the track, did one pass, beat the record, and drove home. But if you read the comments, it says they did a couple passes before they got the record run. I think they probably did like 3 passes or something. So, I think if you look into the details, it kind of gets rid of some of that. So you're not assuming that it's easier than it was. But I don't know. I don't know if I would say it's easy. I definitely can understand being faster on prep, but yeah. And they were testing some things, right? Because Chris posted that they were testing a new converter, a new torque converter, which would help with your launch. And they were also doing, what was it, on the internals in the transmission? Something, it was like supposed to help, like the car shift better and like get better performance too. But for some reason, it opened up and dumped at the top end of the track when it wasn't supposed to, or something, and caused the car to short shift, which was the other thing people were talking about. Because if you look at the Draggy, where is it? I think they posted at the end, right? So if you look at the Draggy, it's not even all the way in it. Look, it completely drops out. So in theory, if they had stayed in it, they might have ran 750s. That's crazy. That's crazy to think about. So it's not even just, oh, this was our record setting pass, we killed it. This was our record setting pass where the car messed up. So we have to come back and try to beat it again. Well, if it's that simple, why didn't you just run it again that day? I don't know. Anyway, definitely open to hear any other ideas, but that's kind of the extent of it. Let's see. This OBS is all right, though. I wasn't sure if the screen sharing and stuff was going to work, but this is what I wanted to do before. Yeah, this is all right. I'll get used to this. So what do you guys think? Anybody else feel like it was fake? Is there any way like the Cybertruck to see if they are moving at the correct rate claimed? I mean, probably if somebody had that much time to figure it out. I just I can't tell because they haven't posted a full video. So what would you actually use to do that analysis? They have to post a full video first. Yeah, hey, I'm. You don't have to yell at me, man. I promise. I haven't ran tens, so I definitely haven't ran nines or eights. I'm just another guy on the internet, but I do think it's interesting what people are presenting. And yeah, you guys are seeing Raza and some of the guys posting up all those screenshots and clips and stuff. What they think proves that it's fake, but I don't think anything out there 100% says it's fake. But people are questioning it just because they don't know. They don't see enough to like concretely say that this is something that's real. I get what you're saying, but there are a lot of private rentals where you can get away with more stuff for sure. That's definitely possible because who's going to call them out on it? Like who's going to do anything about it? You know, if you're spending however many thousands of dollars to book the track, then it is what it is. Oh yeah, the Dino video. You want to see the Dino video? We can watch that. They posted the Dino results for everybody that didn't see. Let's switch back. All right, so you can see here, this is where they posted the Dino video to get everybody warmed up for it.
Right now.
Where's the meme? Got him. So this is all they posted. This was like a day before, I think. This was their dyno video after they said they broke the dyno record. Hey, I don't have a leg in the game. Like I said, I'm just talking. I'm definitely not in any competition with them. I don't do anything that would have probably any impact on them in real life. But it's interesting to talk about. But yeah, this is what Pure sent. And then they did like a quick clip, I think, of the car running. Yeah. This was like their teaser the day or two before. And people were already saying it's fake. Before the video, like the full video even dropped, people were already saying it's fake. So it's kind of like they were just waiting for the full video to come out and they're like, oh, this didn't answer all my questions. It's definitely fake. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, I still got stuff from my garage all in my hair. That's what I get for rolling around on the floor. What do I think? I think that if I broke a record, I would just post the video. It's very interesting that it was filmed like a vlog. Like it was filmed like, I don't want to say like a TV show, but you know, like it's all edited and everything like that. That's a lot of work for most people. And I know they're like an actual shop. I mean, they're professionals and stuff, but anybody else on Instagram or Facebook or whatever that breaks a record, all they do is post their draggy run, you know, but they kind of made like a whole production out of it, showing that they drove to the track, it was full weight, they raced, they drove home, like all that stuff. So I don't know. It also makes you wonder, like, have they done that before? Like maybe they've done that a couple times before, thinking they would break the record, but they had other issues or it just didn't go as fast. And then this one, it broke the record, so they posted it. I don't know. I mean, it's just a video, right? Like all we can do is see what they showed us. We don't really know their lives or everything that happened. Yeah, an in-car video would be cool, but I think knowing that we have 2 videos outside of the car, that's plenty. Like if they have a GoPro in the car, that doesn't really help us because you can't time it off of a GoPro. If they didn't have their phone actually mounted up to film the draggy video, like I don't do that a lot. I just put my draggy in my glove box or something and let it record the times. So if they just had 2 videos of the full run like they showed, then they could just post those. I think that would be plenty. Yeah, every record car has a Pure as well. That is 100% facts. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that they make a bad product or anything, but people are just questioning the record. That's all. And Chris is obviously very proud of his business. He's very adamant that he makes the best thing since sliced bread. So, you know, he has nothing to prove other than that it's more capable than what other people have shown. That's kind of what he's doing, right? He's testing stuff showing that his parts can go even farther than what we've seen so far. I mean, and that's the other thing, right? Like, Pure pretty much sells itself. Like, somebody else was asking me about different parts on the B58, and I was kind of explaining that there are options, but if you ask the B58 community, they're going to give you one answer. They don't know why it's the best. They don't know what makes it different from anything else. They just know this is the recipe, so this is what I'm going to do, right? They know I'm going to buy this high pressure fuel pump. They know I'm going to buy this downpipe. I'm going to buy this turbo because everybody else does it. Like, they don't have to tell you what turbo kit it is. Everybody said KLM. Why? Because all the other fast cars run KLM. What makes KLM better than the others? What makes a KLM top mount better than Doc Race or Spool or, any of these other guys, P-Tuned, whatever? People can't tell you. If you put the same turbo on two different top mounts, why is one faster than the other? But it doesn't matter. Nobody really cares to understand it or figure it out. They're just like, KLM is what works, so KLM is what I'm going to do. And KLM knows that, so KLM charges for that. You know what I mean? So Pure is the same way. Everybody just says, get a Pure transmission, not an upgraded transmission. It's like they don't say get a tissue, they say get a Kleenex, right? They don't tell you to go get a built transmission, they say go get a Pure transmission because that's the default answer. So I don't think he's doing this to be like, oh, this will sell parts, but he could be doing this to say this is even more capable than what you realize, and we have more parts coming out that'll push it further. And I don't think so. Nobody should be salty that a car goes faster with less mods, because I think I talked about that in what does me smiling have to mean? I'm just smiling, man. I'm a happy person. Um, I don't think anybody should get upset that cars are easier to get better performance over time. Because we were talking about the same thing with body. He had to build his engine, his transmission, turn his car into a whole race car just to get eights. Now there are stock engine cars doing eights. He's tuning stock engine cars that run eights. He's tuning cars that go way faster than he did with much less mods, you know? And so is he going to feel bad about that? Is he going to feel like he did something wrong? No, because, a year or two later, we know a lot more. Things are a lot more capable. You know what I mean? So if I was the fastest, like if I was Jordan or Body or whatever, and I had my car fully stripped interior and all this stuff running 770, and then this car full weight comes and runs 760, I say, awesome. What did you do so I can put that on my car and run 750? You know what I mean? If it's the upgraded converter, give me that. If it's the, upgraded internals in the transmission, give me that, whatever it is. If it's a new wheel and tire combo, whatever. Like, people can't get mad that cars just get faster over time. It's how things go. I don't think anybody forgot that tennis ball crashed. Oh, I see what you mean. He could have gone faster if it hadn't crashed. Maybe, maybe. And he did a lot to that car because he had carbon doors. He had like everything stripped out of that car. That car and the M340, they went all in. If it's real, the way that they can improve is really easy. They take all the weight out of the car. You know what I mean? Like, that's the easy answer. That's what somebody else said. They're like, all right, now take out the 400 pounds and go run a 740. That'll really shut everybody up, And I think it's crazy because it's not just the record. It's faster than Body Supra. It's faster than the Titan Supra, the EOS Supra. Like, as far as I'm aware, that's the fastest car, period, out of all the X58, B58, S58, whatever. That is the new complete record for like BMWs with a BMW engine. The only faster BMWs are swapped with like an LS or something. You won't be happy until all my cars are doing low sevens. You're going to be unhappy for a very long time, my friend. I don't know if I have it in me. I know my bank account doesn't have it in there, but I don't know if I have it in me because I know so many people that follow the recipe and it just doesn't perform. You know what I mean? And I won't say it doesn't perform like it's slow, but a record is a record for a reason because one person did it. Most people don't. Otherwise, everybody would be doing the exact same thing. And it's just a lot harder than it looks. A lot of these guys, like, um, I won't say exactly who it is, but I was talking to people that said that they were going to pay drivers to drive their car. They were going to get people to go and get, kind of like a horse jockey or something, get like a jockey to ride in their car that's a small guy that weighs less to make it go even faster. That's the point that people are getting to. So it's like, am I going to do all that just to say my car ran a 7? I don't know. When am I getting an S58? Hopefully soon, man. Hopefully soon. We need to see when these cars are not all still $100,000 used. So we'll see. Oh, is it lagging? See, that's the only thing when I'm on here, I can't see what it's actually doing. I need like another screen so I can see what you guys are seeing. I'll have to work on this setup. But I just wanted to try it today. For everybody that didn't see, we've got OBS going. So when we talk about stuff, hold on, let me try this again. Voila. Look at that. We can watch videos together and ramble about stuff we've never experienced. Okay, no lag for you. Good. Yeah, because my computer shows that everything's green. I've got good connection and everything, so hopefully it's working. The M2 weighs more than the M4? I don't think that's true. It probably weighs about the same. And especially not an M4 X drive. Here, since we're here, let's look it up. So BMW M2 and BMW M4. And these are going to be 2025 models, but I think it's still relevant. Let's see. A rear-wheel drive M4 is lighter than an M2? Let's prove it. Let's prove it. Because I definitely didn't think that was true. Where are the specs? Did they take it away? Or is it all the way at the bottom, maybe? Where's the specs? They used to have the specs right here. Huh. Something changed. BMW M4. They got rid of the specifications. That stinks. I don't know where the weights are. Oh, here. See, it's on the M2 page. Unless I missed it somehow. Let's see. Here we go. So curb weight for an M2, 3814. M4, Where? How could you guys take the specs off of the website? Let's just look at an M3 since hopefully that page still has it. They did something stupid. I don't know why they took away the specifications from the main page. Wow. Well, let's table that for now. But M2, 3814. I don't know why they're not showing the specs for the M3 and M4 anymore. What a weird thing to take away. Oh well. Base G82 weight is not 3660. There's no way. There's no way. No, now I can't let that go. I have to go get it now. Yeah, this is my type of stuff to argue about. So this is what we found. Let's see. This is M4 base, 6-speed manual, rear-wheel drive. Where is the weight? Weight, 3829 compared to 3814. So it's like a 10-pound difference. And I remember this because people weren't saying that the M2 was heavier. They were just saying it wasn't much lighter. They expected it to be at least 100 pounds lighter, and now it's pretty much basically the same weight. But yeah, 3,600 pounds, that would be less than my 340. That would be as much as like an F82. And F82 is light though, like a 2014 to 2019 M4. Those were lighter than like a 3 and 4 series. And here comes Drive Dynamics. Welcome to the conversation, man. A lot of people believe that. All right, let's keep looking. So G42, because I don't think the G42 is that much lighter either. And we're not going to look at the Grand Coupe because that's just a disappointment. $37.48. So yeah, it is lighter. I didn't realize it was that light actually. I thought it was still around 3,800. So it's about, let's see, the M2 is 65 pounds more, around there, 66. Yeah. But you shouldn't have to get an M240 to get a car that's under 3,800 pounds. That's ridiculous. Yes, they are too big. Like, there's no reason for that at all. I won't say there's no reason, but the reason isn't good enough. Yeah, the carbon should lower the weight on the M2, but also I think the M2 is cheaper because they use less expensive materials, so they do more on the M3 and M4 to bring the weight down. Because if you didn't have a carbon roof on the M3 or M4, it would be even more. And then, they've got like the CS and everything that now it's got like a carbon hood and all of that. So there's a lot of things that they could do to bring the M2 weight down even more, but they're giving it to you for a cheaper cost, so they don't do it. Yeah, the M2 with the 4-cylinder, the M2 Racing, that's like, what is it, 3,300 pounds, I think? So that's super light. And now we've got the M2 CS. We can look at that too if you guys want. I'm assuming that's even lighter. Let's go ahead and switch because I'm planning on making a video about it, but I was waiting for BMW M to release their video, and they haven't really talked about it. All right, so here's the press release. Oh, this is for Canada. Is there an American one? Oh, this isn't even the real deal. This is just saying it's coming. So they haven't even done a press release on it yet? It's weird because they posted all the videos, but that's all right. It's like I didn't see a video on their official YouTube channel or like anywhere. It's just Instagram and random people that were at the car show that posted what they saw. So I don't know. I guess maybe we have to wait a while to get more details on it. So we've seen an M140i because somebody brought one from Mexico, but they've never sold an M140i in the US. The only one series that we had was the E82, at least that I know of. And they had like the 128i, the 135i, and then the 1M. But I'm assuming you guys got other ones too over in Europe. But hatches don't do well here. Like even, what is it, Volkswagen, they only sell the Golf R now, or they only sell the GTI or something. Like they don't sell the regular Golfs anymore. All of the hatchbacks that used to be good entry level, kind of like sports cars for people, they don't sell. So I don't think BMW has a reason to bring the M140 over here. The few people that are interested that would buy it wouldn't make up for, the cost to bring it over. Working at BMW, I've seen payments of $1,800. I was looking at this one time. I was just curious because I like pretending I'm rich. So let's say you wanted to buy, we'll just be cute and get a 7 Series. So I'm going to get the i7, obviously. Black sapphire metallic. And then, let's see. I think these wheels are fine. Let's get super fancy interior. Yeah, what's $1,000? Nobody cares. Oh no, merino. Duh. Here we go. That's the real leather. And then carbon fiber trim, of course, and our race car 7 Series. And then executive package. All right, let's just get the quote. So 17,975. Oh, they don't list the monthly price. Well, you can do the math here. Imagine this is at like 8% interest. Let's see, car payment calculator. So we've got, we'll just round up since I'm rich, 180,000 for 60 months at 8%. No down payment, just to see how bad it can be. Sales tax, calculate. Monthly payment, $3,600. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? $3,600 a month for a car. Oh, I wasn't showing my screen. Sorry. Let's do this. Here we go. This is my i7 sedan. 180 grand. If I got a loan at 8%, which I think is reasonable, that's pretty typical right around now, somebody could be paying $3,600 a month. And that's a 5-year loan. Yeah, I think it can be a tax write-off because if you got it under your business or whatever, when it's over 6,000 pounds, you can write it off. But writing it off doesn't make it free. Writing it off is a discount. So I don't subscribe to the thought that write-offs automatically mean like it's cheap. You basically, what, you save your taxes. You save the 30% of the value. So that's nothing to a millionaire. Exactly. That's why it's nothing to me. But for everybody else, that's a pretty penny. And it's ugly, yeah. That's why I just blacked it out. Because if you get it in white, let's see if we can go back. So if you get it in white, you get like the what were those guys from Doctor Strange that had like all of the mascara like coming down? You know what I'm talking about? I can't remember their names or what their team was called. Why won't you show the front of the car? Show me my car. There we go. Look at that. Mm. That's amazing to somebody. Yeah, I never hated the side profile, but I'm not a fan of these cars in general. I think probably the last Gen 7 series was probably the best looking one. Looks good. Hey man, they made it just for you. They made it just for you, so think about it. Anyway. XM or 7 Series, I'd probably get a 7 Series over an XM. For sure. You like the XM? Oh man. We've got somebody driving around with one that like the red trim one that's got like the red around the grills. Somebody around here has one that they drive around all the time. Anyway, this is cool, man. I'm glad we got this working. It's a little more interactive. I'm working on a better camera too. So next time the live stream will be better. Yeah, the red label. I couldn't remember what it was called. but it was pretty interesting looking with the lipstick. It'll spank everybody, right? Isn't the XM the fastest car BMW's ever made? Or what is it? The highest horsepower car? Yeah, it's the most powerful BMW they've ever made. 748 horsepower. Who would have thought? It has the record for the fastest hybrid electric SUV at Pikes Peak. Huh. Okay. I would have never known that, but now I do. Thoughts on the F-36? I think it's cool. It's not slept on. They just didn't sell. So everybody that's looking for used cars, they can't find one. But it's funny because the F-36 Grand Coupe, when I saw the numbers, I forget who posted them, but they sold more Grand Coupes than a combined number of coupes and convertibles for the 4 Series. So, like, the Grand Coupes are the highest selling 4 Series, even though the 4 Series is supposed to be a 2-door. Who would have thought the 4-door would be the one that sells? Yeah. Has anybody actually seen the XM go up Pikes Peak in one video clip, or could this be fake? That's a good question. I have not seen a single 10-minute 48 video of it going up Pikes Peak. How do we know this is real? Where's the draggy? That's a good question. The Grand Coupe is cheaper. Cheaper than what? The Grand Coupe is more expensive than, I think it's probably one of the most expensive ones, except for convertible. It's more expensive than a 340 for sure. And it's more expensive than a 440 coupe. No, I think it's more expensive, man. I think the convertible is more expensive than the Grand Coupe, but I can't remember. I remember when I was looking at getting my 440, I looked at it to see. I kind of skipped it just because there was no manual option, but let's see. So you can get an M440 coupe for $65. Or you can get a Grand Coupe. Oh, there is no 440 Grand Coupe. Okay. 430 Grand Coupe for $49,650. Or the coupe. Yep, the coupe is more. Coupe is like $4,000, or was that $3,000 more almost? Huh. That's backwards from what I remember. Because when I got mine, I could have sworn the Grand Coupe was more expensive than a coupe. Why is there no 440 Grand Coupe? Oh, here it is. Sorry, I forgot I have to click on M car to see an M440. Sorry, that's not a hill I want to die on now. Do I regret getting a manual? No. I got it for a very specific reason and it serves that purpose, you know. So I think that's something that's hard for a lot of people to understand because most people get their cars just to cruise around or they want to break records or whatever. And so it's like I deliberately got something that's slower and more cumbersome, but I enjoy it. I still enjoy it. Yeah, I'm not saying there isn't a big difference between an M car and an M line. I didn't realize that I wasn't seeing the 440 coupe because when it brought me up here, it only showed the 430i options. I didn't know I had to come over here and click on M models to see an M440. It didn't do that when I did the coupe, did it? I don't think so. Oh, we'll go back. Yeah, see, the coupe, it just says 430i and M440, and when I scrolled down, it showed both. But when you go to the Grand Coupe, it's got this whole section for M models built out. BMW is so weird. Somebody somewhere that probably took a lot of time to make sense. And now we're looking at it and it makes absolutely none. I still don't understand why they took the specs away from the M4 and the M3. Like, why wouldn't you leave that listed? Yeah, 67, 65, that's not bad, but it's expensive, man. Because I think when I got my 440, it was 51,000. And that was still, in my opinion, kind of high. I struggle with paying over 40,000 for any car, just generally speaking. It kind of bugs me, but I really wanted it, so I kind of splurged. But 60K, almost 70K for a non-M car. Yep, after warranty, that's the trick. That's how I got the X7. Just wait for the warranty, wait for the lease to run out, and then you can get it. See, but yours was probably more loaded than mine. Because if I got a 440 loaded, like X Drive, automatic, all of that stuff, it definitely would have been closer to 60. But mine's rear wheel drive, 6-speed manual, no track package. Basically, it only had the M Sport package and then the interior executive package with like all the cameras and the navigation and stuff. So it's not like a stripped down model, but it wasn't fully loaded. And that brought the cost down. And then I got a good deal as well. I got a couple grand off since things weren't crazy back in 2017. What do I think about the 911 Turbo S? Oh boy. You're going to take me down a whole different rabbit hole. If you guys follow me on Instagram or see my post, you know how I feel about 911s. So, yeah. Never been in one, but 100% confident it's a good car. The G chassis coupe is more race car. Why do you think that? It feels like it's more of a boat. Or do you mean like the actual M4? I thought what we were looking at right here, like a little 430i, 440i. I can see what you're saying about the turbo, but if I could, I would get the S. You know, and especially because they're so capable out of the box. The only thing I don't know, Porsche does so many little models, like individual trims and stuff, and you never really know what's different. Like, is it just a tune or is it actually bigger turbos? I don't know. So stuff like that would bother me. Like if I knew that I was getting smaller turbos that weren't as capable, then yeah, I would jump up and try to get the bigger turbos. But if they're both the same with just a tune and like some interior features or something, then I could see like a 9S being fine and you just tune it when you want more. Thoughts on the M2 CS? So we were just looking that up. BMW is weirdly not talking about it very much. I'm not really sure why. Let me see. I'll try to search some more. Because they posted about it on Instagram. They posted that video. And then it's like there's no real information. I didn't see a video on their YouTube page or anything. Oh, here. So it's not officially launched. I didn't read this properly. So this is on the BMW official press club page, and they're saying that it'll come out on the 28th. So we've got 3 more days. That's my fault. I scrolled through there too fast last time. I was like, why is there no press information? Why is there nothing? It's weird that they released all the pictures and everything though without it being officially launched. I don't know why they did that. So that means we gotta wait. But it looks cool. Where are the pictures? Can't I make this bigger? Huh. Yeah, so it looks like they took away the center console. You got bucket seats. And then the trunk lip. A slightly different front end. Hopefully it's lighter. It looks like maybe they'll have some different colors. Yeah, so we'll see. A little anticlimactic at this point because they talked about it, showed it, and then just didn't actually say anything. Plastic front splitter. Yep. Oops, wrong button. Yeah, you can't even see it here, really. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they still have to make it cost effective or whatever. It's still an M2. It's not a 3 or a 4 series, so. Yeah, and it's going to be rear wheel drive only. The M2 X Drive is still coming out. But it's not supposed to be until like the end of this year because it's going to be a 2026 model year. And I don't know if it's going to be like a certain trim or if they'll just call it the M2 Comp X Drive. I don't know if it'll be like a CSL or something else. I don't know. But that's still on the books as of now. I think a lot of people were complaining about that too. Yeah, because I don't know. It's just kind of how things are in business. You know what I mean? Like, why doesn't Porsche make the Cayman as fast as the 911 when they made the GT4? They could have made it faster than the GT3, but they deliberately didn't. And it's the same thing here. They're deliberately going to nerf the cheaper car so that there's a reason to buy the more expensive one if you want more stuff. So Sucks, but I'm not surprised by it. You know, it's kind of just the way business works. If you have a cheaper car, you're not going to give it all the same goodies as the more expensive car. And it's already almost the same car. You know what I mean? But that's the reason why they didn't give it X Drive at first. That's the reason why it had less power, all that stuff. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, we've got M3s and M4s, that's 58 cars making over 700 wheel. You're never going to get that from an OEM car. So even if they come out with whatever, I think the CSL has like 550 or something like that, but you can always tune it and make more, the same or more. Yeah, imagine the Cayman. They actually just posted that video, or the Cayman with the turbo engine. It looks kind of weird though. I'm not sure even if I had the money if I would go for it. You know, obviously I don't have the money for it, but they had to do a lot of special integrations to make everything work. Like it's got intake piping in the trunk and stuff like that. So not even a tight fit. Like it doesn't fit. They just made it work. But I'm sure that's a really fast car for somebody. The only thing stopping me from getting a 911 is my bank account. So there's that. I know I pretend to be rich on the internet, but I'm not, I swear. Maybe I should say it out loud. All the stuff where I said I'm a millionaire and I'm about to buy a 7 Series, that was a lie. I'll come out clean. It's funny too because the 440 I bought it new, but that is the only new car I've ever bought, and I don't know that I'll ever do it again. Oh yeah, if I sold everything, I could get one for sure. I mean, I could get a used one, you know, but that's not necessarily what I want. And I'm trying to be more deliberate with my spending instead of just jumping into things because it's like another step up. And I don't know if that's really a good thing or a bad thing. I don't think it's a good thing for YouTube. The 340 has definitely overstayed its welcome in terms of content creation. YouTube, you do a lot better when you change cars a lot, but we'll see. Yeah, Kern 911, that has a nice touch to it, doesn't it? Or a nice ring to it. I'll do all right with that. Yeah, and that's why the 340 fits me. You know, we're two peas in a pod. No big deal. Anyway, this was a good conversation. This is the kind of stuff that I do in my spare time. So you guys are genuinely keeping me entertained. So what else we got? M2 CS is new old news already. I guess we'll see when all the rest of that information comes out. I don't really think a lot of other stuff is out coming up right now. We're still waiting on the new Reflex. Still waiting on a lot of stuff. The 5 Series LCI. Yeah, we can look at that. Let's see. No one likes the four banger Caymans. I mean, it's not a bad car. People just have a preference and they prefer the 6-cylinder, but the 4-cylinder ones are faster, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. That's the only thing. You got to convince people to get what they don't want, because majority of people want what they don't want. Like, people don't care how the car makes the power. If it's faster, it's faster. You know what I mean? Like, you can explain everything you can about how the driving experience and all this stuff comes into play, but in reality, most people don't care. Most people don't know. I popped the hood at a car show, and one of my coworkers asked me if the top mount, the EFR, they asked me if that was stock. Like, people just really don't know. And that's okay. Like, that's not their thing. They're not that worried about it. But yeah, you can't convince somebody that being slower is worth it because of something they don't care about. It's like me driving a manual. People are like, why would you do that? It doesn't make sense to them, right? But it is what it is. Uh-oh, here we go. It says Happy Mother's Day on the slip. So that would be what, 3 weeks ago? Is it on the video or did you see it somewhere else? Because I'm going to spend a bunch of time trying to find it here. I don't even know. Where's the date normally on a time slip? Is it at the top or the bottom? Yeah, it's not at the bottom. So is it at the top? You know the real reason why it's fake? If I'm being honest? Where's the picture with money spread all over the hood? Where's the picture with money spelling out B58 dead? That's how I know this isn't real. I don't know. You guys tell me. If they sell less four-banger Porsches now in 40 years, you can retire off the purchase the way the market is. I don't know. The car market is artificially inflated. I think most people know that. And there's a certain point where it pops because everybody can't just afford more and more inevitably. The draggy is real. The time slip is fake. Why didn't I think of that? This is why you guys are here. This is why I need you guys. What are we going to say when the draggy video drops? Is that fake too? Easy. I mean, that's kind of what I was saying at the beginning, right? A lot of the people that are saying the video is fake were already saying it was fake before they saw the video. Because when they were posting the teaser or saying that, I think they just said that they broke the record or whatever, people were like, that's impossible. And they had no information, they had no video, no data. They were just like calling BS. And that's why I was saying, like, if I was out chasing records, I would never be able to sleep at night because I know that no matter how fast my car is or how much I could break whatever records are out there, somebody's going to feel entitled to say, I don't think so because I don't believe it. And that's all the reason I need. And it's just like, that's enough for the internet. They're like, well, he doesn't believe it. So I'm questioning it now, too. So, yeah, like I said, I don't have any skin in the game. I don't know these guys personally. I definitely wasn't there. I'm not their competition or anything. So that's why I just talk about it. But I mean, I could see it happening because that's the natural way things go. As time goes on, the same performance is easier to obtain. Like, what if they were just testing a better tire? Or what if they were just testing, like, like anything? I mean, what was that 718? Not 718. The 918 record. Was it the 918? No, what was it? One of the Porsches just went back and reset its record, and all they did was switch to modern tires, and it was like almost a minute faster. Was it like the Carrera GT maybe? Oh, it wasn't a minute faster, but it was like 12 or what is that, 16 seconds faster. So this is a car that's been out forever. Nothing has changed inherently other than the cars get higher and higher in miles. And all they did was switch to a new set of Michelin tires, and it was 16 seconds faster than its previous record. Correct. This was another one where there's no draggy video, so we might question it a little bit. But based on the stats, that's all they did. So it's like there's so many things. In 5 years, what we're doing right now isn't going to matter because it's going to be so much easier to do what we're already doing. That's just the natural way things go. Even these precision turbos, right? Like every year, body's testing a new turbo and a new generation. They had Gen 1, Gen 2, next gen. Like, people are saying now the turbo that was on the pure drivetrains M4 was like a new refreshed unit or whatever. It's the same size wheel, same whatever, but slightly different blade design or something. And now you can make 100 more horsepower. And that's just kind of how things go. You're not going to make the same power on a turbo that's the same size 20 years ago because the technology is different. So, yeah, we can't get mad that cars get faster with less mods over time. That's a rat race that you're never going to win. I'm not touching the Paul Walker comment. Yeah, I mean, who knows what the original Carrera GT came on? Because you think about it now, so many cars come with like Cup 2s and stuff like that. That was not a thing back then, at least not that I remember. A lot of people had like, what were they? The Goodyear. What were those Goodyear tires? I can't remember. There was like a Goodyear tire that was really popular for fast cars and stuff like that. But I think the cost of entry or the ability to get like a high quality, go away. The cost to get into like a high quality summer tire and stuff, like it's never been easier. It comes in more sizes than ever before. It's better in the rain. Like, it's something that you can just daily drive. So, it is what it is. What'd you say for the Arcade Tunes car? You thought it was fake? Because I remember, I mean, I've been watching the arcade car get built. The problem with the arcade car was he talked about it for so long, people almost forgot everything that he did. And we used to kind of troll him a little bit because every time he posted it, it's on a dyno. And all he's doing is tuning it, tuning it, tuning it, tuning it. We're like, when are you going to get a hit in? Like, when are you going to see where it's at? Dial it in on the street, you know? But he had it just on the rollers for like 6 months. But sure enough, when it came out, you know, it was fast. But he did a lot of stuff that you probably didn't have to do. You probably don't need turbos poking out of the hood and stuff like that, obviously. But he just wanted what he wanted. So I don't know if he blew. I don't think he blew it up. That's an interesting take. So I'm weird with '90s JDM stuff. Like, I like '90s cars, um, but I don't really like things like certain things. Like, I don't really like pop up headlights. Um, I don't know. There's certain things that I'm very particular on when it comes to '90s cars. So I don't know. Even just JDM cars in general. So, you know, it's like I like an NSX, but I like the new one more than the old one. You know, I like the standard headlights more than the pop ups. Or even like the GTRs, I like an R33 more than an R34, just my personal preference. And these are cars I've never driven. I'm just looking at them, and that's like my opinion. So I can't really speak too much about it. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of pop ups. There's a lot of things I'm not a big fan of that are sacrilege. So don't hate me. My dad had a pop ups on his car when I was growing up. I don't know. I never got into it like other people. Yeah, pop ups are slow. See, reason number one: pop ups cause drag. See, the problem is the pop ups can't be minus 50 horsepower because the cars that had pop ups only had 150 horsepower. So that's the other thing. Except for what? Maybe the Corvette. But a lot of cars with pop ups were relatively low power too. Imagine if the Carrera GT had pop ups. Like, could you imagine that? Oh, there is a video. Who said it was fake because there was no video? I never looked it up, but apparently there's a video. See, the only thing, this isn't a draggy. What am I supposed to do with this? What is this? How do I know the slope is great? Like, this is... Porsche's making rookie mistakes here. Nobody's going to believe this without a draggy logo on the screen. Come on, guys. The drivers were AI. See? Exactly. I wish I could find that video. Let me see if I can find this. Somebody posted a fake draggy video. It was old though. It was a long, long time ago. I'm probably not going to be able to find it. But it's funny because they basically found the data for it in like their oh, it's on a private page. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be able to show it. But they found the code or whatever in Draggy for the video, and they found how you can put any video with a Draggy overlay. You can basically change out the file, and then it'll show whatever you want. So here, I can even show it on my phone. So I don't know if you could tell, but he's like walking in his driveway, making the engine noises. So he just ran an 11-second quarter mile walking up his driveway. So I have that one saved because I just like to reference that every once in a while. That was the video, not me, I swear. But yeah. So clearly it's possible. If we can just do it and post up Instagram videos, then I'm sure a much more professional or established company could do it too. Hopefully that doesn't completely shake what you believe, but yeah, clearly anything can be modified or faked. Who is his tuner? I think he's tuned by Odin Tuned. Same person that tuned my 440i. So if you have a long driveway, you might even get faster, man. I don't know. Just make sure it's outside of city limits. No cops are around. Otherwise, did you see how fast he was walking? That'll get you a ticket. Have I ever driven a Supra? No, I've never even been in an A90. So I'm kind of weird. A lot of cars that I want, I don't test drive. I don't ride with other people. I'd rather just the first experience be when I own it. So that would be ideal. If I got a Supra, I could just have it. I haven't test drove any of my cars. I test drove the X7, but I got the 340 from Copart. I bought the 440 sight unseen. So most of my cars, I just get them. My F30 is pretty much an A90. That's a stretch. Nah, an A90 is G class. It's the same as the what is it? G29. Turo a Supra? Why would I pay whatever it is, $400 a day or something ridiculous probably to rent a car? I can't get over that. I considered doing Turo myself just when I saw those prices. I was like, you can literally make your monthly payment renting it 2 weekends a month. The prices they have on there are crazy. 125, that's not as bad. See, I'm more of a $40 economy car rental kind of guy. I'm just cheap like that. But I've seen some cars like 200, $300 for somebody's car, like not even a super perfect, like clean rental car, like somebody's car that they drive every day and they just let you borrow it. Hopefully clean it out and don't try to scam you when you return it. An A90 doesn't have ambient lights? I didn't think that was true. Do I think dealer prices will lower? Absolutely. I think the issue right now is the bubble is lasting way longer than people thought. So it's like slowly going down. I think people were expecting like a crash where everything just like dumped and nobody had money anymore and, all that stuff. But I think it's still happening. It's just much slower. the prices are down from what they used to be because people just aren't buying cars like they used to. So it is what it is. I forgot I brought snacks. No harm in carding? I don't know, man. I'd have to look at it. See, clearly I haven't done my research. Everything that I've looked at is in front of the firewall. And I know, I mean, well, I think I've seen their iDrive. So they don't have iDrive 7? Huh. Now that I think about it. Huh. That actually, you know what? You're teaching me something. Or you're making me think about something. Huh. Oh, well. BMW website on used cars went up 5 to 10K. Oh, because of tariffs, yeah. So, I mean, we'll always have like external factors for stuff like that, but I think generally cars have always sold under MSRP. Back in 2021, 2022, they started going over MSRP. And I think now we're going to start getting back to MSRP. And within a couple years, we'll start getting deals again where it's under. That's my personal opinion. But if there's like, you know, every year car prices go up, right? So that's not a surprise. They always go up $1,000 or $2,000. That is what it is. Oh, Big Reg, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for joining. Let's see, what will be the next upgrade for my peasant spec 340iX drive? First of all, if it's got the M Performance and Sound Kit, it's definitely not peasant spec. But it just depends on where you're starting, man. Easy thing is downpipe, fuel pump, flash it, get XHP. You'll be good. The A90 has a JBL system. Oh, you know what? I did know that. I forgot about that because they have the subs in the back and everything. Yeah, that's fair. And I mean, I think the other big thing I've been concerned with is headroom and just not really comfort, but I guess kind of comfort. Because if you get it and you track it, if it's like my Jetta, like I won't fit inside it with a helmet, and that's annoying. Because in my Jetta, my helmet would hit the roof. Like I was just too much mass. They didn't design it for a Kern body. So thankfully, I haven't had that issue in the 340, but we'll see. And I think because we talked about it last time, I had a couple options. Like I want a Supra, I want an M340, I want an M2, but it's like, what would actually make sense for the channel and just in general for like creating content and me enjoying it and learning. And S58 seems like the best option, but they're just so expensive, man. Let's see. Oh, this is my first Bimmer. Only had 3 months warranty. Made the car not fun. Come on. Oh, I understand, man. I mean, I tell people there's no shade in that because on my 440, I didn't tune it for 2 years. That's just, you know, when it was new, it had a warranty, and I liked knowing that if something went wrong, I could get it handled. And that's when the B58 was still kind of new. We all felt like it was really reliable, but there were no real guarantees. So I waited a couple years before I tuned my car. It doesn't need to be a rocket out of the gate. Don't let the internet fool you. Oh, Lone Star. So if you're 6'3", 270 and you can fit, then we're good. That's all I need to hear. And I'm a little shorter than you, so easy peasy. That's the last thing I need to hear. Bet. Yeah, S58, that was kind of my thought process. It's different. I have two B58, three B58s. The X7 obviously isn't ever going to be a race car, but I think my big pull for the A90 is just because it's a completely different platform. There are so many things that are unique to it, and it has its own demographic, you know. It's not like a lot of the other cars where everything can swap in and out from each other. So that's why. And of course, I just like them. So I wanted to experience that. But the M2 would give me like a much more unique experience. X3M was also a consideration, but that would have probably been for my wife because she's about due for a new car too. And she wants something a little bigger. Yeah, dealers kind of suck right now. I bought my X7 from 4 hours away because I couldn't get a deal around here. Even back when I got my 440, I ordered it from California, because nobody would cut me a deal around here. It's like I can't remember what that movie was. Was it Gone in 60 Seconds? What? He was like, "There's too many people around here with too much freaking money." And it's like nobody cares about your little spec anymore because they'll sell it to somebody else. Yeah, so if I wait 3 years, let's just think about this because these are the things that keep coming up at night. So if I wait 3 years to get an S58, at that point the S58's at the end of its life cycle, right? The A90 life cycle is ending in a little over a year, like next summer. So if I got an A90 right when it was wrapping up, in my mind, that's when most of them start getting cheaper. People start buying them used. People have a little more money to modify them. It seems to make sense, right? But the S58, presumably, is going to continue to a degree because when the electric M3 comes out, there's still supposed to be like a mild hybrid version or something. So that's the question. Like, is there going to be an S58 to you? Or is it just going to be like people are still buying G82s and G87s while the new one is out? I don't really know. Because again, I'm thinking about it from a personal perspective, but also from creating content and making videos that are relevant. So the question is there something else even? You know what I mean? Yeah, like is the TU2 worth jumping into? Should I get that and figure out what a Gen 3 B58 needs? Maybe that'll be the next hot thing. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not getting an N54. Oh, you're late, man. We can still talk about it, but we've already talked about it. See, we were watching the video. We went through the time slips and stuff. If you got any unique opinions, we're all ears. But it seems like there's no hard evidence either way. Oh, you're saying it's definitely fake? So why is it fake? Give us 2 reasons, maybe 3 reasons why it's fake, because we probably already talked about some of them. Oh, the scoreboard is already lit up. I didn't even think about that. Hold on. So where's the end of the track? Are the beams back here? School me real quick. Is it right here on the orange? Or is it farther back? I'm not sure what the markers are. Because if it's up here, like I could see them crossing. If these are the beams, I could see them crossing this, and then a half second later it lights up. That wouldn't be a surprise. Yeah, I think the scoreboard lit up. Well, I mean, we can't say 100% because it wasn't pointed at the scoreboard the whole time, but I don't think what we saw proves that it was already lit and showing 762 when they crossed. Yeah, the orange marker is the end of the quarter. That's what I thought. Okay. So I think it had enough time to read it and show the time based on that video. Yeah, Gen 3. We can look at Gen 3 pricing too. Because everything is Gen 3 now. So how is it not under MCAR anymore? I thought I had to click on MCAR to see an M340. Oh, I almost had a heart attack. I thought that said an M340 was 92 grand. There we go. Yeah, 60 and 62. That's about the same. I think that's about the same as what it was before. Yeah, I think who was it? Burger Motorsports or something was posting the Gen 3 turbo wheel sizing, and they said that it was bigger than Gen 2, and Gen 2 is bigger than Gen 1. And Will can't help but stir the pot. I said I just like to smile, man. That doesn't mean I think it's fake. Yeah, I think drag pack racing's going through basically everything we talked about. The video cuts. I think the car needs more power than what the turbo's capable of. And the draggy doesn't seem like it matches. I do think the Gen 3 reliability problems are fixed because I haven't heard much since I made that original video, whatever, like 2 years ago or maybe a year ago, which is good news. It seemed like it was just like growing pains, and I think that's what I talked about in the video when they first started with that new, what was it, the exhaust valve deactivation or whatever. When they first started with that, it seemed like it was causing issues, but I think they've sorted it. I haven't heard of people complaining about that. Obviously, Burger Motorsports is tuning theirs up pretty good, and there's probably some other people working on it too, so I don't know. Yeah, you know what? Speaking of the cats, I was kind of surprised that the Gen 3 downpipe was so different. And I don't know if that's an emissions thing as well, but it's just like, I know multiple people that bought the regular Gen 1, Gen 2 downpipes thinking it would slap on, and it didn't work. And that was the biggest revelation because nobody expected them to be different, but they look really weird. You know what? Let's see if we can find like a downpipe DIY or something. Because if you have to drop the subframe, that's bad. And I guess first of all, so let's see if we can find a picture of the downpipe so people can see what we're talking about, because it looks very different from like a Gen 1 and Gen 2. All right, here, I think this will show it. This is like a TikTok. Oh man, it looks like a snake that swallowed an apple. Oh my gosh. So yeah, that's a big girl. And I'm assuming this is in the US, so this shouldn't have
Here we have a 2025 M2 400. This is a downpipe. This is how you traditional 30-minute catalyst downpipe swap. As you can see, it's fat right there. This cat is so much bigger. So you have to drop the suffering in the rear. And just go from there. To that hole right there. Go clamp it here. Do it here.
Yeah, that's got a different color. Yeah. Lowering this up. That's disappointing. That's well. Was that like a starter bolt or a transmission bolt? Nope. There it is. So yeah, it's different. Yeah, I've heard a couple different names for it. I don't know all the different emissions things you guys have, but I think one is like an OPF or GPF or something like that. And then there was like an additional heater or something. I can't remember. I'm not super familiar with that stuff, but I know a lot of like the downpipes in Europe for certain areas are different because of the extra emissions. Yeah, I know this video is fake. It doesn't have a draggy either. So I was just showing it for demonstration purposes. But when they post the draggy video, how to replace a downpipe, then we'll know it's real. Yeah, might as well do subframe bushings while you're there. That's crazy, man. And I mean, because I know from like the factory, they have the full subframe with the suspension and engine and everything, and it just gets brought up to the car, so it all gets put together. So they don't really care how easy it is to get the downpipe in and out, but it was just so easy on our cars. How could they mess that up? When am I getting a lift? Hopefully soon, man. Hopefully soon. It's weird because in my mind, if I have to move and I have to bring a lift with me, that's going to be a bigger hassle than getting a lift. So it's like, do I want to move somewhere first? Like, man, there's so many thoughts behind that. That's probably a whole topic for another video. But I really just want a 4-post lift for storage. That's kind of my goal right now. I don't really want like a 2-post lift because I don't work on my cars that much. I'd rather have an extra lift where I can just lift a car out of the way and park something else underneath it. Burger claims to make 480 with a downpipe and tune. On a TU, they made over 500. Yeah, quick jacks would work too. I just want an actual lift personally. So that's another. It's like the same thing I was talking about before. I don't want to buy quick jacks and then eventually have to upgrade to a lift. I'd rather just save up and get a lift when I can afford it and it makes sense. I don't know. Maybe this is the move. Maybe we get an LCI car, figure out what we can do on a locked DCU. Hopefully one day unlock happens. We can make some videos with that. And we can talk about all the extra emission stuff and reliability and things. I don't know. We'll see. I honestly don't hate it. The only thing that I hate is that it's only on the newer cars, so you can't get one like what we were talking about that's like 2 or 3 years old. Because they literally just started putting it in the 3 and 4 series last year. So that's probably a bigger hesitation for me than the engine itself. Because if I can find one with some miles on it for a good deal, I wouldn't be opposed to trying it. And everything else should be the same. So if you wanted to do other mods like lights and suspension and stuff like that, it should work. I don't know. It kind of makes you wonder. I wonder if like the cooling and everything is the same, the heat exchangers and all that. And I do like how the newer ones look compared to the old ones personally. I like the front bumper. I don't like the rear bumper as much, but I like the front bumper design more. Ben Pack, dude. There are a couple people that if I hit it with them, you guys wouldn't hear the end of it. I would be the most annoying person. If I had somebody to help me out with tires, if I had somebody to help me out with brakes, definitely if I had somebody to help me out with a lift, that would be a dream come true. But we'll just keep grinding, man. I'm sorry to whoever brought up Jay before. This thing is lighting a fire in the chat. John, appreciate it, man. I'm the GOAT. You're a sharpshooter. We are both working towards our goals. Appreciate everybody watching. What time is it? Oh, we might be coming up on time soon. I didn't even realize we've been streaming for so long. Bro, I should have been eating on this the whole time. I forgot I had chips. I pulled it out with like 15 minutes to go. Can I do a detailed video on the eVanos? Absolutely. I don't know how detailed I can get on the timing, though. I'll have to look into that and see if I can find more information. But I can talk about the electric Vanos. I think electric Vanos is the move. Everything that they talked about and how it makes things better makes sense to me. But it's I don't know. It's something else that can still fail, right? So I think the most interesting thing was how they can control Vanos when you start the car instead of having to wait for oil pressure to build up, like on a regular Vanos system, which is pretty cool. So we'll see. So what else we got? Besides Michael and Drag Pack about to choke each other out. I'm still thinking this downpipe thing is crazy. I can't believe it's that different on a TU or on a Gen 3. Nope. It's what it is. No, this is the room. Drag Pack and Michael decided this is their room now. Oh, man. I haven't done bushings on my car. I only did the inserts. So I have rear subframe inserts. It's interesting because most people don't realize the front subframes on our cars are already solid. Like on the 340, 440, the front subframes are bolted directly to the car. So you can only really do rear subframe bushings. Actually, talking about that other video, there might not be any bushings to swap out in the front subframe. If they're only lowering the front subframe and if it's already solid, then nothing to change. I'll be at the track in 2 weeks. So I've got a bunch of backlogged videos like always. I've been tuning the DI setup. So I've got some results to share with you guys, some dyno numbers and stuff like that. And then a couple more mods that I plan on doing before I go to the track. So all those videos will be coming up, and then we'll be headed back to see how much better it is. So ball joint upgrade. So I haven't done anything on the 340 yet, but I do have control arms that will be going on. Those are a major upgrade. I already did those on the 440 and they're huge. I kind of wish I could have done them before my next track day, but I don't want to change too much stuff this close to a track day. So I've been telling myself after last time when I was still wrenching on my car like 3 hours before we left that I'm not going to be doing things last minute. So hopefully as soon as I get back from my next track day in a couple weeks, then we can put the control arms on and then we'll have that ready for when we do go back out. No, you're good, man. You're good. I was letting you guys have it. I don't feel any type of way about it. I argue with people all the time. I'm just as annoying, if not more annoying than probably what people think. Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, Michael, but for me on the 440, I think when you understand the suspension geometry, when you do control arm upgrades, it does actually help. It's really nice. And especially because for me, it helped increase clearance. It adds more camber as the wheels compress, as the suspension compresses, I mean. And so that helps you with performance, even just taking like an on-ramp and stuff. Like, it's nice. It's nice. You can feel it in the car. Turn in is sharper. The car rotates easier. I'm never going to push that car like I would on a track, but it is something that I would still say is noticeable. And then you don't have to run as much camber to get the same performance. Yes, you gain more steering feel. So on the control arms that I installed, they're from SPL. I know a lot of people do like the M3 and M4 control arms, but those are just like a set length and they push the wheel out, and I think it changes your caster and stuff like that. I run the SPL arms at the stock length. So they have spherical bearings on all the joints, and then it increases your roll center. And so what roll center is basically how much your car rotates around the center of gravity. And I'll make a full video. I think I made a video on this actually already, but I'll talk about it more when I upgrade the 340. But if your center of gravity is here and your roll center is down here, it brings it up closer. So you can kind of think of this as like a swing, and this rotates less versus if it's down here, so it reduces body roll, increases steering feel, reduces how much camber you lose when the wheels compress. So when you're going around a turn, you have more traction in the front end. It's just a win-win all around. Only thing is they're expensive. That part kind of sucks, but I think it's one of the most worthwhile upgrades that people ignore simply because they don't understand it. So yeah, shout out to SPL because they reached out to me because somebody told them that they bought their parts from my video that I posted like 3 years ago or something. And hopefully I'll be working with them a little more because they kind of want to make a video more about suspension and stuff that I think will be interesting. Oh, dude, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, SO1. Let's see, I just hopped on. No time to hang, but appreciate your content. I have a manual Supra with plans for top mount. So basically, you're living my dream. You're doing everything I wish I was doing. So congrats on the car. Hopefully you enjoyed the build. That's basically what I tried to do with my 440. Manual and top mount is amazing. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't care if it's 0.2 seconds slower or whatever than an auto, but driving the car, hearing the car, like everything about it is so much fun. You won't regret it. So congrats, man. And thanks for watching. Let's see. Do you do front or front and rears together? If you mean by control arms, you can do them at any time. I only do fronts. I've only done fronts. And the rears are very complex. And it makes me nervous to put something on there that can have a lot of other impacts on things, right? Like, we've got 5 control arms on each side in the rear. So if you adjust one knob, like, it affects the entire geometry of how everything else works. And I don't feel confident that I can set that up myself or even ask somebody to set it up for me. So that's why for now my rears are stock. I wouldn't mind upgrading them all at some point and having all the extra adjustability, but I think that's something I need to grow into. I'm not to a point where I think it would make a big difference for me. Let's see, I installed subs in the 340i. Why does the exhaust sound come through the sub so loud? Oh man, yeah, this is definitely your first BMW. So we call that active sound design. And BMW decided to make the car as quiet as possible, which people didn't like. So then they added fake engine noise so that you can still hear the engine, but people outside of the car can't really hear it. So that's why it's like that. There's fake engine noise coming through the speakers so that you can still hear the car and it doesn't feel like a Tesla or something. But when you turn up the volume or when you put higher quality, bigger speakers and stuff like that, you'll hear it more. So if you want, you can turn that off with coding. You can do that in Bimmer code. You can do that in your tune, and then you won't have to worry about it. Yeah, Bimmer link as well. But yeah, welcome. Welcome to BMW. Sorry it had to be like that. All right, we'll probably be wrapping up soon. What else we got? I turned off ASD in my Supra, too boomy. It doesn't sound like that from the outside. Yeah. I mean, for me, I never really cared about it. It never bothered me because I didn't really notice it. But when I got an exhaust, I was like, I'll just disable it so I can hear the exhaust more, was kind of my theory. And so that's what I did. I never really cared either way personally. Like I haven't disabled it on the X7. I don't even know if it's on the 340, but I know I disabled it on the 440 at one point when I got my exhaust. So, and it definitely doesn't sound like that from the outside. Catless open dump. Yeah, that's a very active sound design. And yeah, I forgot you can change the sound. So you can make it sound like an M5 or something. You can pick which sound profile it runs. So it doesn't have to sound like a B58. You can make it sound like a B48. You can make it sound like an S63. If you're weird, you can make it sound like an S55. Heck yeah, no burble gang. Burble's off. Uncut video or it's not true. I don't even remember what I said. What do I need to do? Uncut? I'm gonna make new merch that says draggy video or it's not real. Something like that. Where's the draggy? So as far as Bimmer code affecting warranty, we're in a weird space right now because when BMW plugs in your car, it'll automatically show if software changes have been made. And it's supposed to be for tunes, like if you tune your engine. But I've heard some people say that it shows your car has been coded. Now, in theory, it shouldn't mess with your whole warranty, right? Like if you go and tell them your headlights aren't working or something, and they check it and they see that you did headlight coding, then they might deny your warranty. But if you have an engine issue, they shouldn't be able to deny it because of that. Oh, if it's not like an OEM, sorry, man, I thought you meant like a certified warranty or something. If it's not an OEM warranty, then it probably doesn't matter. I doubt it. They would care about coding. But like for a BMW dealership doing their OEM warranty, as soon as they plug the car in, if you've got it tuned or something, it'll flag it. So something to be aware of. Let's see. Sorry to hear about your car, man. The best place to get parts, I'm not sure about a place in Jamaica. If you want to order stuff from the US, you can. Like I order basically everything from FCP Euro. That's kind of my default for OEM parts. I would kind of search around. I don't know if shipping or anything is like super expensive for you, but it's worth looking around. Maybe even if you guys have other cars in your area, like other 5 Series, you might be able to get used parts from like a junkyard or something. I've done that too. Like the fuel tank in my 340, I got that from a junkyard. And, you know, a lot of parts like that, they last a long time. So getting them used isn't really that risky. So that's where I'd probably start. Check FCP Euro, see if shipping is terrible to get it to Jamaica, or look around and see if locally you guys have cars you can pull parts from. Oh yeah, I believe it. I definitely would believe. I mean, even like I've got a lot of family in the Caribbean and stuff, so we visit there a lot, and I've seen some of the car community, and it's impressive. You guys make it work. I can appreciate that. All right, I'm probably gonna have to tap out, guys. It's been what, 2.5 hours? Oh, all right. Well, thanks for hanging out. More coming soon. if you guys need more help, you can always message me if you need it like immediately. Join the Patreon. That's always out there. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on the next video. So more coming soon. Just wanted to chat a little bit. I'll try to do this more often, and we'll see how we can get going the rest of the year. So appreciate everybody jumping on. See you on the next one.